Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Tobago. This week we take you to the village of Bon Accord and the peaceful Shorting Villa. Today we've got a great lineup for you as we give you a peek at plans for the economy in 2018. We also get up close and personal with an entrepreneur in the tourism industry. So stay tuned because we've got lots in store for you in the next half hour. I'm Davia Chambers and Let's Talk Tobago starts now. In the headlines, the residents of French Fort are elated after streetlights are installed as a result of a public-private partnership. Officers in the Tobago House of Assembly are learning about health and safety in the workplace, and we hear from one entrepreneur who shares his tourism story. These stories and more when Let's Talk Tobago returns.
Come, let me go to Tobago. That paradise, Bombay, Robinson Crusoe. And it is said, it's the land of tomorrow. Princess Margaret say, come to Tobago for holiday. Now the whole world say, come to Tobago for holiday.
The Shorting Villa is a modern-style townhouse within the Island Palm Villas development. For the past 10 years, it's been owned by GH Investments Limited. Now, its name is a play on the word shore for the nearby beaches and the certainty that visitors will have a great stay. We switch now to French Fort, a community just a few minutes from the heart of Scarborough that's never before had street lights. This recently changed thanks to a collaborative effort involving community members, businesses, and a few other key partners.
For more than 20 years, the residents of James Avenue, French Fort, have been without streetlights. But things are now looking brighter, with the installation of 9 streetlights in the community. Area Representative and Secretary of Community Development, Enterprise Development and Labour, Mrs. Marcelin Melville-Jack, says she's happy to be able to bring some relief to the people of her district.
This afternoon we are gathered here at James Avenue with the residents of French Fort to celebrate with them the installation of street lights, something that they have been clamoring for years, and their dream has now become a reality.
The community also played a role in getting the street lights. The Calder Hall Improvement Committee and Restorer of the Breach Community Church were the two community groups that got on board with the project. Tobago businesses also contributed, including Parks International Limited, The Number One Hardware, Protran 97 Limited, Warner's Hardware, Wayne Phillip Plumbing Services, and Nasvik Contractors. Chief Secretary Kelvin Charles says initiatives like these are to be commended. He says it's great when everyone gets involved in improving their communities, instead of waiting on the THA for help.
We are about enhancing delivery and strengthening partnerships so that the activity today is in fact a demonstration of that theme, because we are ensuring through the representative that a particular service required by the community is now available to the community, but more importantly, at no cost to the THA. And that was because the partnership model that we have been talking about is what would have been used as the basis for ensuring its realization. And therefore I take this opportunity to congratulate all those groups and individuals who would have contributed to this. But it also says to the rest of Tobago that where there is a will, there is a way. And in fact, it begins to give expression to the new paradigm that one does not have to wait on the Tobago House of Assembly to get things done.
The presence of streetlights means more community activities. Residents say they're grateful for the newly erected lights.
On behalf of French Fort and the community that living down here, we give thanks to the Chief Sec and the PM. Well, you know I always buy your place for safety, lights and streets. So today we give thanks and praise to the street.
I lived here for 20 years, right? And this current was a real problem now. But here make. Believe me, and my daughter have to go to school with lamp and can't go, you see. But I'm so glad you all came and solved that problem. Thank you all very much.
This project is an example of what can be achieved through community effort and partnership. I am Avian.
The popular Store Bay Beach is within walking distance from Shorting Villa. However, pool designer Perry Balfour wanted to bring that feeling of being at the beach closer to home, so he created this effect. As the country looks to overcome its economic challenges, diversifying the economy has become even more important, and the construction sector is one area that has serious potential for supporting economic growth. In this report, we'll tell you how the industry is poised for change this year.
Traditionally, agriculture and tourism are considered the most critical sectors to Tobago's economy. But the Tobago House of Assembly also plans to develop industries such as construction, light manufacturing and entrepreneurship. This will strengthen the island's push for economic sustainability.
We are committed to ensuring the continued development of the island of Tobago, and therefore the bases that we would have set out before, which include but are not limited to building and fostering partnerships and relations with non-government organizations, state organizations, the central government, will continue. Because at the end of the day, the bigger picture is the development of the island of Tobago.
The construction sector is important to Tobago. It provides jobs and contributes close to 6.5% of the island's gross domestic product, or GDP. That's why the THA sees tremendous potential in this sector.
We propose to accelerate our construction sector because, as you may know, it is one of the sectors that can quickly generate economic activity, can put idle resources to work, and can contribute to a growth in an island's or country's gross domestic product.
Among the projects planned for 2018 is the construction of 5 new Early Childhood Care and Education, or ECCE centers. They will be located in Roxborough, Belgarden, Plymouth, Corland, and Bon Accord. Construction has been approved for 4 of the 5 ECCE centers.
We would have triggered the process. As you know, the government of Trinidad and Tobago did access an IADB loan for the construction of ECCE centers, 5 of which are to be built in Tobago. So we have triggered that process today by reference to the approved note, and we will begin to drive the process for the construction of these schools.
The Tobago House of Assembly is awaiting clearance on the land where the 5th centre is to be built. I'm Kern De Freitas for Let's Talk Tobago.
When you're in Bon Accord, everything you need is nearby. Whether it's a restaurant, entertainment, or even the A&R Robinson Airport, it's all just a stroll away. Now, the Globe is looking at data collection as the key to ensuring countries can minimize their risk during disasters and helping them to manage the fallout. Tobago was represented at a special training workshop for disaster management officials. Here's more.
Damage from natural or man-made disasters can have ripple effects for years. So in 2015, more than 100 countries signed on to the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction. Now, this document aims to reduce the impact of disasters worldwide from 2015 to 2030. With this in mind, the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction spearheaded a technical workshop in Bonn, Germany in December. Participants from 90 countries learned how to use the monitoring system, which will be available early this year. Alan Stewart, director of the Tobago Emergency Management Agency, TEMA, attended the conference. He says the database will help countries compile more thorough disaster reports.
It has to do with financial losses, infrastructural losses, losses in relation to health, your lifelines. And all of these areas are critical in the reporting mechanism, agricultural losses. So it's a long list of areas that sometimes in our DANA, damage assessments and needs analysis, sometimes we leave out. So the objective is, the tool is to allow countries to ideally identify those critical areas that are necessary in the reporting platform so that you don't miss anything in your reporting.
Countries have the next 2 months to submit an initial report to the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction. Mrs. Stewart says such data collection will benefit Tobago in several ways.
It will allow our policy group to have a framework as to how to plan for the island effectively. And that being said, it will be in keeping with some of the major goals set out by the UN in terms of sustainable development goals set for the UN across the world. So as for us here in Tobago, this will allow us to pay particular attention to the process by which we gather information.
TIMA's director has advocated for technical support from the United Nations for Caribbean countries and other developing states. He says collaboration among private agencies and the public sector will also help countries prepare more accurate and comprehensive reports.
The attitude of sharing data becomes an imperative now. It is one of the things that I wish to see, that it will become mandatory that agents across or agencies across government sectors understand the importance of sharing data. Your data is not just your own. It belongs to a cadre of or a repository of data from the UN perspective that will allow for a global image as to what exactly is the impact of multiple hazards across the world.
Reports from all 90 countries should fulfill the 7 goals of the Sendai Framework by 2030. These include reducing the loss of life, reducing disaster damage to infrastructure, increasing access to multi-hazard early warning systems, and strengthening international cooperation and assistance to countries affected by disasters. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
We have to take a break, but when we return, a new year has begun, and so has health and safety training for public sector workers. Don't go anywhere. Let's Talk Tobago. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
There we go to Tobago, that paradise, Bombay, Robinson Crusoe. And it is said, it's the land of tomorrow. Princess Margaret say, come Tobago for holiday. Now the whole world say, come Tobago for holiday.
Shorting Villa has 2 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms, and it sleeps up to 6 adults. It's equipped with all the amenities you'll need on vacation, with air conditioning, modern appliances, cable, internet, and secure parking. Now this, all organizations should take health and safety in the workplace seriously. Staff members of the Tobago House of Assembly have an opportunity to become more aware of their role in enhancing their work environment. We have more in this next report.
Staff of the Tobago House of Assembly will update their knowledge on occupational safety and health at the quarterly training for employees hosted by the Occupational Safety and Health Department. The goal is to help employers and their workers decrease the number of job accidents, injuries, and medical illnesses in the workplace.
Courses that we believe would assist not only in educating the members of staff, but also providing they doing some practical activity in the workplace so as to minimize the number of non-conformances.
Mr. Alfred says 5 main topics will be covered theoretically and practically, including inspection and first aid.
Duties, responsibilities, and penalties that relate to the employer and the employee, because they both have duties, responsibilities, and what could happen if the employer does not implement. This is where the penalties come in. We'll be doing chemical safety, because of the fact that there are a number of areas where within certain divisions that they use chemicals, and therefore they're supposed to know about how they should handle, store, use, and the precautions that they should take regards to chemicals. So we'll be doing chemical safety, we'll be doing hazard identification and prevention.
The department is expecting over 30 participants to be a part of the training workshop.
We expect that it will be a success, and we do hope that the members of staff would attend and participate.
The workshop begins on January 17th and ends in March. A certificate of participation will be awarded. I'm Caroline Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
If you want to get outdoors and experience Tobago, it's not hard to find the perfect activity. The owners or their booking agent, Rain Property Management, will be very happy to connect you to well-known and trusted tour providers. Now, education goes beyond academics. It's also about learning life skills that can enhance your quality of life. So one organization is changing the way our young students see the world around them. Omadara Mills explains.
It's not a typical subject area taught in high school, but these students of the Pentecostal Light and Life High School are learning about genuine love. It's a part of the Family Life program and the Health and Family Life Education curriculum. Their teachers are two of the 19 facilitators of Family Life Tobago. The organization, which was established in 2000, teaches students about life lessons that are helping them become good citizens, such as good interpersonal skills, sex and sexual education, understanding themselves, and character education.
Relationship, family life, so commitment, those aspects that is very foundational to building of a society and a nation, a strong society. We emphasize those aspects. So what we do in the schools is to give the student those skills so that they can make those decisions as they're growing and they can lessen the risk behavior. We also, the lessons also addresses the choices that they make to prevent all the risk behaviors that we are seeing.
Facilitators are also responsible for the operation of Club Access, an extracurricular group in the schools. They engage students in special projects based on the 6 pillars of character: trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, citizenship, and caring. Projects include beautifying the school's surroundings with fruit trees and visiting the elderly.
When we walked in, one student was like, "Miss, are we getting paid?" And then another student being able to jump up and say, "No, it's not about being paid. It's about really sharing and giving and caring." And then seeing how they walked out of there already asking me, "Miss, are we going back next term? What are we going to do for them?" They went and they plait here, so it was good to see our students get into the attitude of volunteerism and wanting to give back to their communities.
The facilitators are in 8 secondary schools on the island, teaching students from Forms 1 to 3. Bertha James has been a facilitator with the foundation for almost a decade. He says the moral education lessons are having a positive impact on the children's lives.
Presently, our students at the school, many of them do not have the kind of support at home, and so under this program, it gives us an opportunity to be one-on-one with them and also to help improve their own understanding of themselves, their relationship that they have at home with their parents, maybe their guardians, and also how they can have better relationship among their peers.
In 2005, Family Life Tobago signed a memorandum of understanding with the Tobago House of Assembly to work within the schools. The foundation also provides premarital and marital counseling services. Whether in schools or in the communities, the organization's mission is to transform lives so that we have a better society. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Visitors also love the privacy of the pool and the surrounding deck area, which is a great spot to kick back and relax. And if you want to host a party or some other small event, that can also be arranged. Tobagonians are being encouraged to use the resources available to them to make a difference in their lives and their communities. One entrepreneur is making good use of a grant from the Realization of Economic Achievement, or REACH program. Here's more in this story.
She's been a professional hairdresser for the past 7 years. What started off as a hobby has turned into a sustainable career for Genevieve Johnson. Genevieve plies her trade at home in Concordia.
And after doing the course at Whiteside, it's gained me an opportunity to do an internship with a hairdresser. And after that hands-on experience I got working with the hairdresser, and after seeing the satisfying smiles on customers' face, I said, yes, this is exactly what I wanted to do.
Through a grant she received from the Realization of Economic Achievement, or REACH unit, of the Division of Health, Wellness and Family Development, she now has the needed capital to expand her business.
As we speak right now, I am working from home. So the grant will help me to build my salon and to get more equipment to open my business.
Genevieve says the grant of $7,500 would afford her the opportunity to buy more supplies as well.
I'm going to purchase another hairdryer, four sitting chairs, a styling chair, and 2 trolleys.
Over $2 million has already been invested in entrepreneurs across the island who offer a range of services: farming, landscaping, and rabbitry, just to name a few. The REACH, or Realization of Economic Achievement unit, focuses on community empowerment and poverty eradication in communities across Tobago. I'm Caroline Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
Coming up next, we have a success story you won't want to miss right after this break. Stay with us.
Happy times. Summer car done, summer car, 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 summer car done, yeah, summer car.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, tourism is a lot more than just selling a vacation. The attractions, services, culture, and experiences offered to guests are key aspects of the industry. So in a series called My Tourism Story, we share with you the people and the businesses helping to create a memorable experience for visitors. This week, Shaquille Jones tells us how his passion for dance became a business opportunity and how dance is impacting the tourism experience in Tobago. Have a look.
I'm Shaquille Jones. I'm a dancer and have been dancing for approximately 17 years. I started dancing at the age of 5 in Pembroke, which is my hometown. I first graced the stage with Pembroke folk and cultural performers in their presentation for the Tobago Heritage Festival Salaka Feast. Entering dancing at that age, I was seen as young, but it's something that I really wanted to do because I was born into a family of dancers. Well, I'm trained in 4 genres of dance: traditional folk, Western African, contemporary, and limbo. But my favorite would be traditional folk, mainly because it's where I would have started. It's where I'm rooted, where I'm grounded. The thing that I connect to most is my traditional folk. Dancers fitting into tourism, I believe that when a traveler comes to the island of Tobago, they must have the opportunity to see or really truly experience our way of life. And what better way to reenact our tradition through dances or music and food. So dancers here would have a great opportunity to help build a proper tourism product. I realized I could make a living from dancing. I think it was my 3rd tour to Carriacou in Grenada. I saw it as 1, marketing myself, and 2, of course, using my talents to bring an income. A lot of people would have approached me in the sense of, they want me to come and do a choreography for like March Past, Queen shows, a dance group, and they were willing to pay. There and then I realized hey, if I do this properly, and I market myself properly in a manner that would be pleasing to people business-wise, I could really make a good living off of my talent. A lot of parents especially would have, approached me on a more serious term, saying, like, why you don't start your own school, why you don't do classes, why you don't, give people the opportunity to be as good as you or to engage in dance and cultural activity. I started my dance company. It was launched in September of this year. It's called the Novec Dance Theatre. Novec not carrying a meaning, it's really just my middle name, Kevon, turned backwards. There's so much more to it than, seeing the physical activity, the rehearsal, the technicalities behind it, the way we align ourselves and position our bodies. It's really, really something that goes with a lot of hard work, dedication and commitment, and I want to have a crop of people that I could engineer such principles in and allow the world, not just Tobago, to see that the art is something that contributes valuably to the building of an economy or to the building of any society, and take us seriously. And that is my tourism story.
And it's now time to have Your Say, the segment of our program where we hear what you, the viewers, have to say. Today we're asking, what can we do to reduce household waste? Here's what you said.
We have to start from the stuff we purchase or like from the supermarkets. Use less plastic bags. We should have reusable like fabric bags and that sort of thing. At home, we're supposed to sort our waste, separate glass, like glass that can be recycled.
Most households have their waste in the kitchen, so what you need to do is cook less and cook just what you need.
First of all, we may have to really educate our people about what can we do to reduce household waste. It doesn't make sense you try to do things without educating or edifying our people and society how to take care of something.
I think you could recycle plastic waste, paper waste, stuff like that.
Buy things you need only. Shopping, use one shopping bag. Separate your stuff,
We have to look in the way of recycling our waste and managing our waste so that we could continue to have a clean and better Tobago.
We close yet another edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like our Office of the Chief Secretary Facebook page, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. From our house to yours, I'm Davia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and very productive week.